Welcome back to course on C programming. We'll understand the control statement, especially the loops, why loops are used and what are the different types of loops, how do we write the program associated with loops. Also, we will understand what is called as a break and then continue and multiple loops. So we have three different kinds of loops, what is called as do while and then for. Why do we have to use the loops? When we are to do some repeated things, then we can use the loops. So the loop can be defined as a repeating the same process multiple times until the specific condition is satisfied, right? So for example, let us say I want to print number 1 to 100. Then one way is just we open a program and then start writing printf1, printf2, printf3. So it's very tedious, right? Writing 100 is very tedious. Assume that you have to write 1000 or like that you have to print 1500 from 1 to 1500. It will be very tedious. So then what we can do, we can understand the pattern in that. That means we have to increment every time 1 and then we can create a pattern and then we can repeat it number of times so that it gets printed. So there are many such things which we come across when we are writing the program. That is where we will be using the loops. So what are the advantages of a loop? One is it provides code reusability. So using the loops, we do not need to write the same code again and again because the system takes care of it because we do it repeatedly. So we can, using the loop, what we can do is we can traverse through the elements of the data structure. So later on we will be discussing about the array and the other linked list or any other data structure. So we can traverse through them. So that is where we can use the loops. So this is one of the building blocks of any programming language, namely the loops. So there are three kinds of loops. First one is the do while loop. So in case of the do while loop, so the syntax is do and then open flower bracket, code to be executed, and then we are going to check the condition. So in case of the do while loop, the condition is checked at the end. Condition is checked at the end. So that means this particular loop is executed at least once. So that is what is do while loop. It is executed once and then the condition is checked. So next we have what is called as the while loop. In case of the while loop, the condition is checked at the beginning. In the beginning only the condition is checked. If the condition is true, then only it will get inside the loop. If the condition is false, then it won't get inside the loop. So this can be used when we do not know like how many times I have to repeat it. But if I know like, okay, this is the condition on which I have to execute it, or if this condition does not meet, I have to come out of the loop. In those scenarios, what we can do is we can use the while loop. So we don't know the number of iteration in advance, then you can use the while loop. Next you have the for loop. In case of the for loop, where we know like how many times we have to execute the condition. We know like in advance these many number of times I have to execute the condition, then I can use the for loop. The syntax of the for loop is like this. It has the first thing is initialization, next condition checking, increment or decrement. So we initialize a variable with a value and then we are going to check the condition whether finally that condition is going to give you true or false. Till the time that condition is met, then it will get inside the loop and then the code is executed. And once the code is executed, it will come to the increment or decrement part and then again the condition is checked. So first it starts with initialization. The initialization happens once, then the conditional checking. After that, increment and decrement happens. Once you do the increment and decrement, again the condition is checked. If the condition is true, then only it will get inside the loop, and then this is how we can use this loop, the for loop. And also you can have nested loops. That means you have a loop inside a loop. You can have a outer loop and an inner loop. So you can go through the outer loop and then you get inside the inner loop. And till the time the outer loop, all the elements of the outer loop are executed, then your program will run. Okay, so you can have a mixed match of this like for loop with while loop and do while loop when you are using the outer loop and the inner loop. So let's do some coding and then we'll come back to the other part of it. And also you can create an infinite loop. Suppose I want to run it endlessly. Sometimes I want to run it endlessly the loop, then you can use a infinite loop. Like for example, for if I put colon colon, it is going to run forever. Infinitely it is going to run, and this is an endless loop. Similarly, you can write the infinite loop using while. So while some condition is true, see while one, that condition is true, it keeps on running. Similarly, do while, which condition is true, then it keeps on running. Okay, so let's start with simple program to understand this loop concept so that these things are very clear. So again, let us head towards the Visual Studio Code. Let me start the program here. So I'm going to use the first, let us start with the while program. Write the program here. This is program number 13, while. This is loops while. Okay. So first let us include stdio.h and then we have the main. So let us understand what exactly we are trying to do in this. I want to print one table I want to print from 1 up to 10, that is 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So that's what I want to do. What is the base, the aim of this program is to program to print one table up to 10. Right, so this is what. So now what we can do is, once we decide like this is how we have to do, let me start. We will define two variables. One variable is int start. Start is, let me start with 1, and then int end. I'm going to end with 10. Start with 1, end with 10. So now let us use the while loop. So what is the syntax of the while loop? It is while some condition is true. Till when I have to write, see, like for example, I want to come till till it prints 10, right? So then what I can do, I can say start is lesser than or equal to end. Till the time the value of the start is lesser than or equal to end, you get inside the loop, and then you can print, say %d, and then /n, that is the new line. And then we can say what we want to print, start. And then I have to increment start is equal to start plus 1. So what is that we are trying to do here? So we started with initializing a variable start is equal to 1, end is equal to 10. So in line number 8, what happens is start is lesser than or equal to end. So what is start? Start is 1. Is it lesser than or equal to 10? Yes, right? So 1 is lesser than or equal to 10. It will get inside the loop. That means inside the flower bracket. It will come to the program number, line number 9. In the line number, what we are going to do? We are going to print the start. Start is first time it prints 1. And then %d because it is a digit. And then /n is nothing but the new line character. So after printing every time, it will go to the new line and then it starts printing in the new line. And then start is equal to start plus 1 because we have to increment it. Otherwise, it will go like an infinite loop here also. So once 1 is printed, next time what I have to print, I want to print 2, right? That's why I have to say start is equal to start plus 1. So once I say start is equal to start plus 1, So then the second number is printed like this. So at one time what happens, start is 10, 10 is lesser than or equal to 10. Okay, then it comes and it prints 10, and next start becomes 11. So 11 is not equal to lesser than or equal to 10, right? So then it will come out of the loop. So this is how we can start printing the table 1 to 10. And let us run this terminal, build it. Let us see, is there any? Okay, there is one compilation error because it is not print, it should be printf. So let me put printf. Print is used in Python, printf is in C programming. Let us run this. Okay, see now build is successful. So let's run this. So this is program number 13. Tab. See, now it has printed 1 to 10. So okay, see here also I have to put a slash n so that it will come in the new line. So when I run this, it prints from 1 to 10. So this is how we have written using the while loop. So let us get back to the syntax, what we have checked in the while loop. So this is what is a while. Till the condition is true, it is going to execute it. Okay. So now let us use the same thing, do the same thing with for loop. Okay, with the for loop. So let us do the same thing with the for loop. So let me create a program. 14 loops for.c include stdio.h and then void main. So printf. Now let us do something different. We will try to do the print five table. So program to print 5 table up to 50. So now we have to start with for loop, right? For first is the initialization. What we have to start, we have to say variable, declare a variable I, and we want to start when I want to print the 5 table, I want to start with 5, right? And then the conditional checking till the time when till I is lesser than or equal to 50. Till it is lesser than or equal to 50 I have to do. Then I is equal to I plus 5 because the increment this time I want to do with 5. Okay, so this is how we have to do. So in for loop it's very simple. Printf %d and then I, and then we have to also use slash n I. So this is how we will write it. So let's look back at the program. We started with I is equal to 5 and then it will come to the next here. I is 5 is lesser than or equal to 50. Yes, it will come and print the line number 6. After that, it will go again and then it is going to increment. Now I is equal to I plus 5. Now I previously was 5. Now 5 plus 5, 10. So now I is 10. Now again it will come to the conditional checking. That is 10 is lesser than or equal to 50. Yes. Then it will come inside and the loop and then print. So initialization happens only once. Condition checking every time and then increment or decrement. Right. So this is how we can be using this. So let us run this. Let us see if the compilation is successful. Yes, there is no problem. Let's go to the PowerShell and then we will run it. So dot slash and the program number is 14. Okay, so this is how we have successfully written a program to print files table. Yeah, again I can print the slash n here in the beginning. Okay, so this is how we can write this. So now let us try to do the same with the do while loop. Before that, let us look at the syntax. So this is what we did. Initialization, condition checking, increment or decrement, right? So this is how we have done. Now let us do the do while loop. So let us create a program for the do while.